what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is your local problematic Leo, and today we're going to be having a chat about all of the things I found interesting in Devstream 177. Now, if you couldn't tell by the sound of my voice, I am definitely a little bit under the weather. That's why I haven't been posting lately, plus somebody at work went on vacation, so it's been a bit extra hectic. Regardless, we're going to tackle this dev stream starting from the smaller things into the bigger things so I can kind of ramp up a little bit. Anyway, so we start with, and I'm going to be honest, this first one isn't necessarily for me, but I did want to ask a question about it. Nourish is getting rebalanced with the Helmuth system. Now, of course, this is viral damage when you get damaged and also when you damage enemies, plus a big energy generation kind of thing that's going on with it. I didn't realize that so many people were using it. Is it really that big? Let me know down in the comments below. I have found no need for energy generation. Is the viral thing really viral, for lack of a better term? Toss that down there for me. Next, this is the one that I thought was actually going to be the bigger one. Eclipse is actually getting a toggle, which I think a lot of people are going to be very, very excited about. I think it's going to be tap for defense and hold if you want the damage buff. So for me personally, I'm like, this is the one that we've been having for years that a lot of people are super into. Me, I again didn't feel like I needed it, but it'll be nice to actually be able to control it because I guess it's not working very well with the lighting system that they have currently in game. Now, we're going to move on to some of the augments that they were chatting about, and the first one is actually kind of a game changer for me. I do want more clarification on it, so if anybody knows more than I do, please leave that down in the comments below. Listen, I'm sick. I'm not going to do a deep dive, so somebody else can do that for me. But the Marielena augment, okay, let me tell you right now, Loyal Marielena, for me, I have not wanted to touch Ureli mainly because of the fact that I can't do K-drives. I'm sorry. I can do arc wings just fine, but K-drives I don't like moving around in narrow hallways or low ceilings with it because I just can't get the movement quite right. So having Loyal Marielena, basically you no longer ride Marielena, but Marielena runs around or skates around or floats around and casts sea snares on enemies. And I'm like, yes! I'll take it. It's an additional companion that does CC. The only thing I really want to know is, are we still going to be having that kind of like damage reduction that comes from Marielena? I was looking at the UI and it kind of sort of looked like you did. And if that's the case, I will be playing around with Miss Fishy Jelly Lady. Okay, I'm super excited about that one. But you know what I'm more excited about? The new Loki augment, Damage Decoy. Yes! Yes! I was actually thinking about doing a video about reworking Loki. Like, if I reworked Loki, this is what I would do. And this is precisely, like, literally what I would have done to Decoy. Minus the status effects things. But, I mean, hey, listen, I'll take the more status, the better, right? I'm really, really excited about that one. So, basically, you cast Decoy on a target. You have to have a target to cast Decoy on. Enemies that hit that target are afflicted with status. And there was, I think, something about, like, a damage explosion at the very, very end. Really excited about that one. And Decoy was usually the ability that I would Helmuth out, and then I would go ahead and toss in, and then, you know, I would still have Switch Teleport for movement, but I actually recently did one where I was doing the Culervo Teleport with the finishers, because invisibility plus, you know, finisher damage, not finisher damage, but, you know, charge attack damage is really, really nice. Makes me very happy. So now I have the Decoy plus that, but I was also thinking at the same time, well, I don't necessarily need a Radiant Disarm because the Radiant Disarm is going to affect everybody and have everybody attack everybody else. But this way, if I just have the Decoy one, I can focus it on a single enemy. So that's very exciting. I'm super duper excited about that. And I did hear them say on the stream, if you're a veteran, if you know Life of Rio, and you know me, and you know our beef, you will know the phrase Loki Lover. And the fact that they used Loki Lover on the stream was like, oh, it's a throwback. It's a throwback. I love it. Next up, so I was looking through the augments that they did show on the screen, and maybe they have it posted somewhere else, but the only other one that I was super duper excited about was the Neza Divine Retribution one, where basically any enemy that gets speared, any status afflicted to one will actually be afflicted to them all, and then I think it's the collapse when the spears explode, they get 10 times status damage. So that's really exciting for me. Next up, okay, we're going to actually talk about the new Warframe next, because this one, I saw the design, and instantly I was like, this looks disgusting. I hate it. It is super gross. And as many of you guys know, if you have followed me in the, what is it called? Oh my god, the game's name is leaving my brain, but only, not, oh my god. You know the game with the Interceptors and the Titans and then the Storms? Oh my god, I forgot it already, and my sick brain is not getting it. But that one, the one that I talk about all the time, that is gone forever from the world, and I'm so sad because I really wish it was around. Yeah, I don't like wizards. I am not a wizard person. So I saw Dante's, design, and I was like, ick. But let me just tell you right now, seeing him in game with all of his additional armor, with all of the flowiness, with the Syandanas and things, I'm kind of super into it. I'm kind of super into the visuals of this new Warframe, and I'm like, oh, I love it. And they did really good with like the flowiness of things. Now, of course, I haven't played with him in game yet because you know how it gets. Sometimes when they do their dangly bits, it's like just like a flaccid penis just flopping around. And I hate it, but this one looks like it's got some airiness and it's got like some cushion to it, you know what I mean? It looks kind of elegant, so I'm into it. I'm very, very into it. I'm actually also very into the energy effects that he has. Those like energy peregrines, oh my god, they look so cool. I'm really, really into the look of the Warframe. The abilities, they seem kind of meh. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but when they released the new tome weapon, I was super underwhelmed. And they're like, oh my god, Dante, he gets an exalted tome, and I'm like, oh no. And I mean, I knew it was going to happen, right? We got to have an exalted everything in this game, but literally once he got the exalted tome, which, by the way, I guess the special skill on it is you can put as many tome mods on it as you want. Fine, I guess. I want actual mods on it, not just tome mods. So, I don't know. That didn't seem all that great to me. But I'm really excited to put the fashion into effect for this one. Because, oh my lord, he looks beautiful. I didn't like the alternate helmet, though. Kind of weird. And is it me, or does his face kind of look like an owl in his default helmet? Like a little owly, I think so. Yeah. So moving on. Speaking of very beautiful skins, oh my god, that Styanax Deluxe. Holy shit. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it right now. I do not have the processing power for it. But the Styanax Deluxe is absolutely gorgeous. Specifically the mosaicing on the skin, the way it's got different kind of intensities of reflection. The feathers looked really, really pretty. Even when they started randomizing through certain things, everything actually looked pretty. It looked like a good starting point for actual, break down and say, okay, well, we can change this color and shift this color and it'll look really, really nice. So it takes colors really, really well. The what's it called, Syandana is a lot, and if you like a lot, that's great. That can be you. The spear looked amazing as well. I'm actually really excited because I don't love the look of Styanax as it stands, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I don't play him. He's also I think he's just really a spammy frame, and I'm not super duper into spammy frames. I know there are some people who absolutely love it. Remember Ash Bladestorm days? Oh my god, those Bladestorm Ashes. Whew. But okay, sure, do what you want to do. Next up, and the last thing that I really wanted to tackle is the Inaros rework. Oh my god. Can I just say Sandcats? Sandcats! I'm so excited. So for those of you guys who aren't aware, Inaros is getting a little bit of a tweak, and I've said it before. I like usually playing Warframes mainly that help you do damage via weapons. I love weapons. I love me a good weapon Warframe. That's why I like Loki so much. But Inaros is kind of the same. He's just like the tanky version. So now they basically made the rest of his kit interesting to play, which is really nice. First and foremost, his passive ability no longer locks him in that like sarcophagus, which I think was a cool concept. But now basically when he dies, he turns into a sand clone version of himself, and he can go beat on enemies. And as soon as you fill up your bar, boom, you're back to life. Great, fantastic. Next up, desiccation. There's not much of a change to this one. The big thing about this is they're actually adding in more finisher animations to more enemies. So in that case, they're not changing the ability, but they are making the ability more applicable to more enemies. And they actually showed some finishers to the murmur enemies as well. So, that's going to be something you can play with around a little bit more. Next up, we have Sandstorm. Okay, hear me out. I hated Sandstorm. I thought it was a terrible ability. I just did not like so many things about Sandstorm. But I actually love this version because, don't hate me, it is like a more mobile version of Hydroid's Puddle. Remember Hydroid's Puddle, you guys? Listen, I know a lot of people did not like Hydroid's Puddle. I loved Hydroid's Puddle because of the fact that you could literally grab enemies, pull them into the puddle, you're dealing damage to them over time, and then you jump out of the puddle and you literally do ground finishers, okay? So now the way the Sandstorm works is you're untargetable while you're in the middle of it, right? You're dealing damage to enemies in the surrounding area, and you're like healing yourself, kind of like you were doing in the puddle, and then all of a sudden you're dragging enemies into the center. So what you do is you whip around, pull enemies into the center, and then you come out of it and you stab them while they're on the ground, and then you get the heals from the ground finishers. So it's just like, it's very much like Hydroid Puddle, except you're not stuck in the ground, which I get it. Some people didn't like. I thought it was kind of fun. Anyway, next up, they've actually split his ultimate into two different pieces. One is Scarab Armor. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but that's what I'm calling it. So it's basically like the, channel, you lose health, but you gain more armor. Now they've kind of done the thing where the armor goes down whenever you get hit by a status effect, which is fine because you can always pull it back. It's like the augment, basically. So that way you don't have to be affected by status effects, and you can kind of have a reason to recast it. Next up, we have Scarab Swarm. At least that's what I'm calling it. And it's basically the CC portion of the ultimate ability where you can kind of CC enemies. But here's the thing. I think this is how it works. If you kill enemies affected by the Scarab Swarm, you get Sand Kavats. You get Sand Kavats. So I am very, very excited for Sand Kavats. I'm excited for any kind of Kavats. Any extra little pets that you can get make me very, very happy. So those are the things that really were exciting to me during Devstream 177. I'm sure there's probably something else that I missed. I know that we have the anniversary coming up in March, which hopefully will get a really cool skin. I don't know what they're coming out with that, but if it's not a Loki skin, I don't care. I don't care. It better be a Loki skin. Regardless, let me know how you feel about any of these topics down in the comments below. Also, let me know if you've seen any of the other augments. If any of the other augments seem really, really interesting to you, toss that down there as well. But that about does it for me for now. I'm gonna go rest my voice, have myself a little bit of Theraflu. So, and yes, I do still have to work today. Well, what? Anyway, that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.